your ability to detox, to get rid of those toxins, to diffuse them and inactivate them and get rid of them. And that's where the liver comes in. The liver is able to do this if you have the right supplies for it. So things like conjugation. So people have so when I do tests, I always look at their bilirubin levels, because bilirubin is a marker for conjugation. And there's 4 different ways that the liver detoxes, and conjugation is one of them. And that would be used for other things like alcohol. People with high bilirubin levels, and they're not really high, not like hepatitis high. Instead of 1, they're like 1.2, 1.3, 1.5, 1.6, something like that, the bilirubin level. So you're not going to get brown urine or yellow around your eyes. It's not that high, but it's just high enough to indicate that your conjugation is a little impaired. So you probably wouldn't tolerate alcohol very well. People who go, yeah, I take a drink and I get sick, I don't feel very good. It doesn't make me feel good. That's an indication that you're probably not conjugating well. And that works for mold toxins too. So everybody's different. We're not all the same. And so if you have an impaired methylation, then you're not going to be able to detox some other toxins very well, mold toxins. So there is a long list of mold and a long list of mold toxins that they produce. So it's not as simple to just do this. There's one thing that you can do. And then another one is sulfation. If you have low glutathione uses sulfur amino acids, and it creates a sulfation pathway that allows you to detox by adding a sulfur. It's another one of the 4. And your body, your liver, needs to be able to use all of these pathways to get rid of these mold toxins. And if you don't get rid of them, then it's going to be an issue. Where else do they come from? You don't have to have mold growing on your walls to see it, because it's in your food. A lot of people don't know this, but food that's stored grows mold. Grains are often stored, and they often grow certain kinds of mold that produce toxins. And they don't go out and pick out all the ones that have mold on them. They put them all in the hopper and grind them all together. And so you get the flour, and the flour has the mold toxins in it. Peanuts are a common one. Aflatoxin and from aspergillus has been found in peanuts. Peanuts are stored in huge silos. They grow mold, and the mold produces the mold toxins, and then they put all the peanuts in the hopper all together, and then they grind and make peanut butter and everything. And in some cases, if they use like fresh peanuts, then they don't have mold, but the peanuts that are stored often have mold. So that is food is another fairly common way to get mold. Another one would be if the mold is growing in your intestines, and that's where you eat mold. So yeast, mold, they make toxins. Yeast, mold, by the way. Did you know that? They're both fungus. Fungus yeast, fungus mold, and they all produce toxins. I think all of them, except for, mushrooms. Some are also fungus, right? And some of them produce toxins and some of them don't, which is why you don't just go out and pick mushrooms and eat them, right? Because they'll kill your liver pretty fast. Yeah, I think most species of mold do produce some kind of toxins. Anyway, so part of it, the problem is the exposure to mold, and the other part is your ability to detox the mold. So there's 2 things to deal with. One is exposure, the other one is detox. So when you have issues that are unexplained by other things, clearly if you have a metabolic problem, you have type 2 diabetes, okay, then deal with the diabetes. That's not being caused by a mold. That's being caused by the glucose, the sugar that you're eating. Whereas if you have vague symptoms, fatigue, weakness, brain fog, and it's just not explained, do a mold test. That will help you to determine if that's mold or not. And it's not just any mold test. I find that the urine mold toxin test, it's called. Mycotoxin means mold toxins. And so the urine mold toxin tests are the most useful because that tells you if you actually have the toxins. If you test your immunity to or allergic reaction or reactions to the mold, all that means is you've been exposed to the mold or the spores. It doesn't mean you have anything growing or have any toxicity like that's coming from your food that's not going to be in the immune system, but you'll still be excreting it in the urine if you are exposed to the toxins.